Good morning, Liz Ann here. This morning I want to talk to you about something that I have termed the scatterbrain syndrome. It's something that I have had to deal with my entire life. For years I have been infected, it feels like, with this tendency to be in 100 different directions. I am reading 6 books at one time. I have 15 goals to meet. And I've never been one to be on a stringent schedule. That's just really difficult for me. And one of the things I have learned through therapy and through healing is that there is no such thing as abnormal, given the context in which something is in. So when you put things into context, there's nothing about you or me that is abnormal. And that's why we hear many times about people that have done something horrific. And the first thing we want to know is what happened to them, because we think, and we tend to think, oh, that's not normal. So something must be wrong with that person, what happened to them. And we start immediately looking into the context of their life. And given the context of life, it is not abnormal for that person to have come to that place in their life. And so it's the same thing with anything that we are going through in healing. We need to really put the brakes on, really looking at ourselves and saying, what's wrong with me? Because there is nothing wrong with you. You are beautiful just the way you are. And as we heal, some of these things will resolve themselves. And some of these things may always be a part of us. I am wired that way. I'm wired scatterbrained. I was brought up in a very dysfunctional home with lots of siblings running around me. Nothing was routine in my life, ever, from the get-go. And we moved every year of my life. My mom would work, and then my mom wouldn't work. My dad would work, and then my dad wouldn't work. And I mean, literally, my life was constantly in upheaval. And so, given that context, it stands to reason that I am wired to be scattered in a million different directions, because that's exactly what I was raised in and around constantly. And so I am learning how to kind of harness some of the things that my brain goes in a million different directions, how to harness it and bring into focus what's really important to me, and try to, that's why, like, even on my blog, if you look at my blog, I do not just concentrate on one area, because I get really bored really quick when I have to just focus on one thing for a long periods of time. And it has its drawbacks and it has its benefits. But one of the things that is helping me and has helped me is meditation. I need to meditate more, but one thing I have found is when I am meditating, what I'm teaching myself in my meditation at this point is, which is one of the first things you have to teach yourself, is to how to quiet your mind. And the first few times I actually was able to quiet my mind, it felt so good. I mean, it was like that feeling of, like, when you're really stressed and then all of a sudden the stress just melts away. And it was that same feeling. It was just like, I love this, my mind is still, because I didn't think that could ever happen. And so meditation, I love practicing to help calm my scatterbrained mind. And another thing I was thinking about is exercise is another thing that's really good, because when you think about, like, even little children who people say are hyperactive or have ADD, ADHD or whatever, these little children have a hard time sitting and focusing. They want to go from one thing to the next. And so we have tried to learn how to adapt to them and how to adapt the environment a little bit to them. And we're trying to learn ways to help them to be able to focus more. And, but again, they're not abnormal. They are very normal for whatever their circumstances. It may not be their home life environment. It may be something in their brain that is chemically different than other people's brains. And so it's very normal for them and who they are. And so one of the things I learned is that exercise, because when you think of a child like that, I was thinking, when you take a child like that, you think, take them somewhere, let them get that out. Take them to a park, take them you know, to one of these Chuck E. Cheese places. I'm kind of out of the loop because my kids are bigger now, so I don't know all the main, you know, exciting places that people take their kids nowadays. But I will learn because I'm a grandmother now. But anyways, I thought about that and I thought, well, of course, exercise. Hard, vigorous exercise is going to be my best bet. And for me, I get bored with exercise, but I did find an exercise, a beginner Zumba that I love. And I'll put the link down below so that if you want to try out the one I'm doing, you know, you're welcome to. And I have found yoga to be very calming to my mind. So it just depends on what I'm needing at the time. Do I need vigorous exercise? Do I need a little yoga? But I just wanted to tell you, and those of you who are out there that feel overwhelmed by life, feel like your mind goes in a million different directions, you feel like scatterbrained and like you can't ever get things together, you're not alone and you're not abnormal. And it's just something to work with, and maybe sometimes just review your past, review why you may be wired that way or why you are that way, you know, and write things down and think about it. And again, this morning it's Sunday morning, so I wanted to share a healthy breakfast with you that you could have on Sunday mornings. This is not a grab-and-go breakfast, but it's very healthy and fun to have for like, oh, I want to have a nicer, more hearty breakfast this morning. So this is a cereal that I really enjoy. I usually start out with a half to 1 cup of oats, just oats out of the, you know, oatmeal box, just they're not cooked or anything. And then I will add to that a few raisins to sweeten it. These are organic raisins. I use organic on when it comes to thin, I didn't even know these are not open yet. When it comes to, oh yeah, I have them in a plastic bag. When it comes to thin-skinned vegetables or fruits, the pesticides penetrate them a lot worse. So it's best to use organic whenever you can. Anytime you can, it's best to use organic. But I use them especially when it's, you know, it's a thin-skinned product. So then I put some raisins in it and some cut-up apples, fresh apples with the skins on. Again, these are organic apples. I always wash in soapy water all my produce because you don't know who's touched it, who's sneezed on it. So my kids always go, oh, Mom, that sounds gross, but it's true. I have some cut up oranges here. I was lucky enough to get some fresh ones off a tree from Southern California that my neighbor brought back from me after she had been out to see her mother. So I'm going to put some cut up fresh oranges on there. I have some blackberries. They were on a good price, so I picked up some blackberries. And I have some pecans. I like walnuts, but I was out of walnuts, so I'm going to put a couple pecans on here. Gives it some crunch, adds some protein and other great minerals. And I always add about a half a banana. Banana is great, not only nutritionally, but it gives you that full feeling. It's very sweet. The benefits of bananas, I'm not going to go into the benefits of each thing I'm putting in there. You can Google them, you can find out all you want about it. I'm just going to show you this yummy cereal that I'm making so far. Here it is. I'm going to add some cut up, about a half a banana. I usually cut it into fourths and then slice it so that I have little bites of banana throughout. And then last but not least, I always add a little something, usually flaxseed or hemp seed. If I do flaxseed, normally I grind them because they're a little tougher, so I put them in a coffee grinder and grind them up. But usually about a tablespoon of seed, this hemp seed will add about 3 grams of protein, plus omegas and other just really great, again, you can look that up, really great health benefits. And then I top that off with some almond milk. Okay, here's my makeshift lid. I lost the lid to this, so I had to just, what am I going to do? That's probably not the best thing, but I just crammed a little plastic in there. Okay, so then I add my milk, my almond milk to it. You can use coconut milk. I tend to stay away from soy milk. I've read different things about it. I eat a little soy, but I try to limit because of different things I've read about it not being that great healthy for you. So, okay, and there we have it. There's a Sunday morning bowl of cereal that will charge you up, that will, your body, your cells, everything will just be thanking you that you ate this. Look at that orange. Oh, it's so good. There is no boxed cereal out there that can top this. Just took me about 15 minutes to pull together at the most. So it's a 15-minute Sunday morning breakfast. It's not a grab and go, but I'll tell you, it's worth a try. Try it, you'll love it, and I'll talk to you next time. Please give me a thumbs up if you like this video and you got help from it. Leave questions and comments down. I'm going to be more than willing to answer whatever I can. Love you all. Have a great Sunday. Bye-bye.